basketball fans, welcome back. So I saw this article from Citizen Digital, and I covered it in an Instagram post that I made. And to be honest, you can't make these things up. You can't just go ahead and just create these things on your own, because the people themselves who take part in the system, they are the ones who even come out and expose. So you can see Ojukwu says substandard courts and indiscipline affecting basketball growth in Kenya. So let's see what he had to say. So speaking about the facilities, he emphasized the stark contrast between Kenya's basketball courts and those of the other nations. So that's one point that I caught. So he highlighted key issues affecting both the infrastructure and management of the sport in the country. So apart from Kasarani, the other courts are all below par to the national and international standards. So in multiple videos, in multiple occasions, I mentioned that Kenya lacks the facilities that help players prepare for continental showdowns, especially when it comes to playing in Afrobasket, Rotubal, anything that involves teams at the club level or the national teams. You are finding a situation where even the preparation grounds, like let's say the national team right now is training at the Nyayo indoor gym. So it's very difficult for the teams, the coaching staff to be able to simulate a game-like atmosphere that they're going to experience, like what they're going to experience in the games that they're going to play. So on the women's side, they're going to go to Cairo, Egypt. So replicating a game-like atmosphere here in the Nyayo gym where they train is going to be very difficult. And also for the men, we yet to see what's going to happen, yet to know where they're going to play. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. So there's no court in Kenya that is par to international standards, and that's the reason as to why Kenya can't host major events, just like the way Rwanda have. Rwanda have hosted BAL playoffs and finals. They hosted BAL season 1, the whole thing. Afrobaskets have been in Rwanda. You've seen Senegal, the Dakar Arena. You've seen Pretoria be a venue destination for the BAL. You've seen Egypt, Tunisia, and this year you're going to have the Afrobasket in Angola. So yeah, also Cameroon was there a while back in the Afrobasket qualifiers in 2021. So you're seeing other venues pop up, but Kenya is left behind. So there's that. The substandard facilities, he noted, not only demoralize players but also limit their ability to perform at their best. So he also added, and he was quoted on saying this: when you go to other countries, we see good facilities, structures, and basketball courts, which make players feel comfortable and make them feel like they can offer their best performance. But back home, our infrastructure is letting us down, affecting the development and quality of our game in Kenya. I mean, I don't even have to add too much because I have said everything that I need to say. Like the venues are not that good. So according to Coach Ojukwu, the issue of infrastructure is compounded by lack of meritocracy and inclusivity in the management of the national basketball team, the Morans. So I've made multiple videos talking about the Kenya Morans failures and the mishaps that they commit internally that lead to the overall abysmal outcome outside. So Coach Ojukwu, he further criticized the culture of entitlement among some players and coaches, which he believes is detrimental to the team's performances. So the Kenya Morans team is treated more of a club than a national team, because if the team Morans is representing Kenya, that means any basketball player who's playing within Kenya is eligible to play for that team. But the big issue is the federation officials, the cabal, have decided to turn that national team into a club. It's an exclusive club. Not anyone can enter, and the people who enter, they get compromised, and they find themselves being in a place where they feel entitled. And that's the reason as to why Coach Ojukwu came out with that point. So the problem with our national basketball teams, the Morans, is that the current players and coaches feel entitled to be in the team irrespective of form and merit. So I've talked about form and merit most of the time. KBF are very corrupt, incompetent, and I mean, there's so many words I can describe them: corrupt, incompetent, people who don't understand basketball, and they insist that they have to be in those positions. So Ojukwu also pointed out the lack of collaboration between coaches and players, which he claims undermine the team's cohesiveness and results. True. The team will never be cohesive. It will never be a cohesive unit as long as people are operating like a cartel. So that one's it's just a sad thing. So he expressed concern about the selection process of the national team, citing the exclusion of the Kenya Basketball Coaches Association in decision making. So we have seen situations where the federation comes up with their own names, they come up with their own list, regardless of whatever other people think. They go ahead and make those decisions, and it rubs people the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way, because there's no fairness in terms of selection. There's no criteria when it comes to selecting the players, and the coaches that the coaches that are supposed to form that committee that's going to select the players that are supposed to collaborate with the head coach are not there or are being frustrated. So he also added, the current coaches feel like they own the team and always call the same players, yet we have so many players all over the country who, given the chance, can perform and make the Morans go an extra mile. True. I've said there are 50 million Kenyans, and out of those 50 million Kenyans, you can't miss about 100 to 200 very good hoopers in the country. But because of the corruption inside KBF, they will never get that opportunity to represent the country, because the people, the players and the teams, the players and the coaches that are inside the Morans right now, they feel entitled. The coach feels entitled. They feel like they own the team, yet they don't. We have a team manager who's a flower girl. You have a coaching staff who are, just reduced to puppets. So there's no control. And the people who make the decision on who is going to be in that team is the cabal. So if you're not one with the cabal that is inside KBF, the cartels, they will not select you. And that's the reason as to why you're not seeing many people get in. So for Kenya basketball to thrive, Ojukwu believes that addressing these structural and cultural issues is imperative. And he also added improved facilities, merit-based selection, and enhanced cooperation between stakeholders are key towards elevating the sport. So those are the words that he had, and I feel like it holds very true. And Coach Ojukwu, I've mentioned him in multiple videos, especially I'm talking about KPA. I don't feel like he's the man for the job, especially when it comes to continental showdowns for KPA. But domestically, he dominates. And I don't agree with a lot of things that he says or he does, especially on the court. But on this one, I can make an exception because it's something that I've been mentioning for years now. And this article came out January 6th. So this article, when I learned this article existed, I made a post on Instagram and I mentioned it. And I said, these are things that you can't avoid. And the federation gets called out every single time, yet nothing happens. Nobody says anything. Everyone is quiet. It's interesting to see how lax and how the federation officials do not care about improving anything. And even to the new hoopers who have dreams and aspirations of playing for the country, representing the country, just know that you will only represent the country if these guys are gone, if they are gone. And with the elections right around the corner, there's a high likelihood these guys are going to do some gymnastics and still stay in power. And yours truly, I'm going to be there to make sure to air these things out so that they don't get re-elected again. But I know they've already compromised the system, and they're going to try to see if they can extend their stay there because of what has been going on. You can see Kenya has started hosting basketball tournaments. You've seen the Road to Ball. You have seen the EABCC that happened last year, and more are to come. So they don't want to miss on that. So they're going to do whatever it takes to stay in power. And yours truly, I will not accept that. And if these people continue staying in power, you're going to see more of such comments. And you can see this is one of the most decorated and respected coaches in Kenya raising this. And it's something that reigns true everywhere, because when somebody of this caliber mentions and talks about this, that means that it's something that actually happens. And and together with the data that we have right now, it reinforces this statement fully. And it's something that he just reiterated what I've been mentioning for years now. So, I mean, hopefully things can change, but I know hope is not a strategy. But hey, these guys need to go like yesterday, and they're wasting our time, honestly. And with them gone, with the federation cabal gone, hopefully we can be able to see change, and we can be able to see new people who can breathe new life in basketball. But hey, substandard courts, there's no policies that KBF are pushing so that they can be able to get the government on board. They're not policies that they're setting up to make sure that basketball players who play for the federation play with ease. So because of the many scandals that KBF has had throughout the years, all the sponsors have been shying away, and they have been scared off. They can't even bat an eyelash to come to Kenya and do anything, to come to KBF and do anything. So that's the big problem. So it is what it is. So if you guys like the video, man, leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this. I mean, I'll be making more of these type of videos regular. And yeah, man, it's just been a wild few days. I mean, I've been back to back releasing, and the more of these videos are gonna come. So like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified. Until next time, I'm gonna see you in the next one, man. Peace out.